All right, hey now, it's the Rob from 106.1 KISS FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting and my best friend, Mr. Jerry Valeri. Jerry, are you there? Oh, no.
I'm here. Rob, I am here, and I'm on the ladder.
No, camera turned off, low power mode.
Your camera. Oh, hold on. Try it again.
You hit OK on low power mode?
Yes, because I wanted to preserve it.
No.
Honey, you
Sorry.
got to charge it.
Sorry, number 8. My wife just hit low power mode. Now we're screwed.
It's okay. We're
I'm going to hang up.
live.
I'm going to try it one more time without her because that's never going to work.
Sure. Well, can you hear me?
Because I'm on low power mode. I don't know how to get off of it.
Well, I mean,
This is why you never let your wife hold the phone.
Okay. All right. Why don't we here? We're
live,
stop.
so we might as well just keep going. God
All right,
almighty.
we'll keep going. This is exciting.
I don't know how to get it off of low power mode from here.
We just have that Steelers logo.
It's just a stupid Steelers logo.
Hold on. I feel like we need a video of you.
This is the worst. And she's telling me to hand it to her. Like I'm ever going to do that again. And we're live. We're YouTubing live. We're YouTubing live.
I can turn it back off low power mode.
Just tell me how to do it.
No.
And now we're gone.
I've got to get to your settings.
We're here.
You're still here, number 8?
I can hear you. Yeah. And you know what?
I don't know how this happened.
Where's the battery? It's under battery.
I have an idea.
How was the school talk today?
This is killing me. I had the best idea for today. My phone went from 30% to 1%. Do you know what that means?
Your phone sucks?
That means that Santa needs to bring me a new phone.
I think that's true. Yeah, I need a new one too. Mine does the same stuff. Mine jumps from even higher to 1%, and it drives me
How
crazy.
does it go from 30% to 1?
I don't know, but it does.
Am I back yet?
No, I mean I can hear you the whole time, obviously, but I get to that stupid Steelers logo. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, you're back. You're back.
I'm back. I'm standing in my living room now, attached to the wall.
Okay. Well, listen, we got you here, and I think that's what counts. How's it going?
Let's just do this. I want you to know that I was on top of a ladder, and I wanted to be on top of a ladder today.
It's true. He was on top of the ladder, but it looks like that proved to be a little ambitious for today's broadcast.
I tried to go on WWE, and I ended up being a little more TNA.
Yeah, but you know what? That's what happens. And let's be real. That was, I think, that was like Altoona Jaffa Moss wrestling. What just happened?
That was like big time wrestling with animals there. And then like Matt Hardy shows up, or Sting, or like the time Lex Luger came in a wheelchair and signed autographs. That was sad.
Well, we are here. We're together, and unfortunately, due to scheduling, we were unable to do post to post at our regular time. But we're here today, and we're going to talk about TLC from last night, right?
We are absolutely 100%. And
Okay.
how do you want to go about it? Do you want to give me your review, or you want me to give you my review? How do you want to do it first? First, let me congratulate you on winning a B show.
Hey, thank you. I almost thought that they were turning TLC into an A show because I wound up winning my first B pay-per-view event, and I gotta tell you, it feels good. Feels good.
Fortunately, I'm going to get another opportunity in 2 weeks.
That's right. I can only enjoy this for 14, not less days. But hey, whatever.
You get 10 business days. That's it.
What is the next pay-per-view we even call it? Is that Roadblock?
Roadblock, end of the line.
Gotcha. I feel like Roadblock should be something on the road to WrestleMania. Does that not feel wrong to you?
Roadblock was last year. It should be after the Rumble.
If I'm not mistaken, Roadblock was that Saturday special they did where they could have corrected all the problems they had at WrestleMania, however chose not to.
Right. They just let it be the same WrestleMania. It was a pointless. That was a pointless pay-per-view.
But nevertheless, SmackDown had TLC last night, and I thought it had some high points and some low points, but overall it was a pretty solid show. Solid grade. I'm teetering between a B and a B minus.
I'm giving it a B plus.
All right.
And
so
I had it at an A, and I took it to a B plus for just one reason.
What's your reason?
The reason is they put the explanation for Ellsworth's turn not on the pay-per-view. That was really it. I thought it was absolutely it was an A show. I loved all the matches. All of them. I watched the whole thing front to back.
That's very impressive, especially for you. You didn't fast forward at all?
Nope. My son went to bed at 7:30 and I was watching the whole thing. And the first tag match was okay. It was okay. Then I thought the no DQ was okay. That was good. And then we started getting into the meat of it. And I know you have a ton of notes, but Miz and Dolph Ziggler put on a great show. I thought it would have been a show stealer.
I have very few notes, actually. The only thing I have from the first two matches is I did think that the tag team match was a little slow. Not bad, just a little slow. But I love that finish. That Sister Abigail the spider walk being used as like a distraction for the RKO. I love that.
Right. And I thought that it was interesting that neither Randy or Bray touched the titles. Did you notice that?
At all? I know that Luke was holding them.
Luke held them. Luke had them the whole time, and then they did their poses, and Luke was holding them. I thought that was interesting.
I thought the spot right before that finish, though, was super sloppy, where Luke pushed Randy Orton out of the way and Rhino gored him.
Yeah. It was an okay match. It was good.
Good.
I was in love with the Kalisto Baron Corbin match.
Oh yeah, I want to get to that. Let's get to that in 1 second because I have a lot of thoughts on that.
Until the main event, it was my favorite match of the night, without a doubt.
It was my favorite match of the night, probably up until the main event. Although it's really neck and neck there. Yeah, okay, let's jump right to the chairs match. First of all, a chairs match is a dumb stipulation. I feel like it's just not a thing. But okay, because the show's called TLC, we need to have a chairs match, I guess. That was the best chairs match of all time. I feel like
good. The psychology was great.
Yeah, and I really liked the way the match got started. Kalisto came with this intensity I've never seen before. And it seemed like an old ECW match at the beginning.
Just throwing chairs in.
Yeah, just laying a bed of chairs and how brutal some of these chair spots were. And the chairs were just black. They weren't flashy with wrestlers all over them. I don't know. It just struck me like ECW in a good way.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And I loved Baron taking his beatings. And there was a moment where I thought, oh, God, Baron Corbin could lose this. And then he didn't, which was the right move. And I just thought it was a great match with great psychology, and it made them both look good, and it made Baron look really strong.
They both came out of that match much better than they went in. They went in to that match teetering on the brim of irrelevance, which
without
is
chairs
for them.
Yeah,
what was that? Bud?
I agree. Without chairs, without the chair stipulation, that's on the pre-show.
Yeah, they were really, really irrelevant. They just kind of been feuding over this. I mean, the cruiserweight thing was kind of like a weird little tangent for this feud, but man, when they got in there, they gave us what we've been waiting for from both of them for a long time now. Especially Baron Corbin. We haven't seen this from him ever in WWE.
Yeah, and I loved after the match, he went over and was intense in front of Morrow and the announcers. And you have to mention it every time, so I'm going to save you, and you're not going to have to mention it. Let me say it. 4 announcers, too many. David Otunga has to go.
Gotta go.
He's the worst.
Yeah, he's by far the anchor of the not in the good way. He's the anchor as far as he's holding back the rest of the broadcast team. Outside of that,
He's the albatross around their neck.
yeah. Outside of that, though, they're gonna have the best announced team in a long time if they get Otunga out of there.
Right. Morrow is so good. He reminds me of Jim Ross, not exactly, just with his.
Yeah, no, he did a great job last
delivery.
night. I actually gave the line of the night to Morrow last night.
What was it?
It was during the ladder match, during the finish of the ladder match. And if I'm talking over you, I really apologize. We might be having some buffering issues here.
I feel like I'm doing the same thing to you. Like this is the technical difficulties today are all on my end.
Yeah, but you know what? This is not where we're going to be usually doing this. This is only when it's this or nothing is when we do this. So.
Right, and I thought the payoff would be me on a ladder, but I can't do it. So instead, I'm on my knees in front of my couch.
Do you want to like sit in a chair or something?
I can't because I'm tethered to the wall. It was down to 1%. My
Okay,
phone's
well,
about
you know
to
what?
die right in the middle of the
The
podcast.
commitment, though, I appreciate that. It's something you should be proud of yourself.
This could go on botch. This could be wrestle crap. This could be podcast crap.
I apologize to anyone watching this podcast.
I have to apologize to my wife. She's gonna kill me. I was a total jerk at the beginning. I was like, "What did you do? Why did you ruin everything?" And it was totally my phone's fault. So when this podcast is over, I'm dead.
And that fight will be locked on film or whatever you want to call it for the end of time on YouTube.
We're gonna have a chair match.
Yeah, you're gonna have 6 folding chairs set up in your kitchen.
She's just gonna walk into the kitchen and start throwing chairs into the living room, and I'm gonna know I'm dead.
The line of the night I did give to Morrow. He had a great call during the ladder match, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. Towards the end of the match, in fact, I think it was actually part of the finish, when The Miz kicked Ziggler in the balls, he said, quote, 2 shots to the peninsula south of the equator, and then Miz grabbed the belt, and I really like referring to the male genitalia as the peninsula south of the equator.
South of the equator. There were a couple from him, and then there were just a couple through the night. I need to start taking notes because now I can't think of a line of the night last night because there was nothing that really stuck on me. But there were a couple where I was like, "Oh, that could be it for me. Oh, that could be it for me." Because there were Morrow just calls. He says some pretty interesting things, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, wherever. I mean, I don't know if this is where he originated, but I've been watching some New Japan on Access TV. And he's good over there too. I don't know if that's like first run commentary or not, but he is a seasoned bro. He's very good at what he does, and I agree. Reminds me of Jim Ross in a good way. So I did want to go back to the Miz match for a second. I thought they had a great match, but I was a little disappointed. I was kind of expecting them to deliver match of the night, and they weren't even in the top 2. Which upset me, although it wasn't a bad match.
It wasn't a bad match, and there were some good spots, and it wasn't like spot fest. So
yes.
They teased a lot of things, and so I was relatively happy with what they did.
Yeah, relatively happy is a good way to put it. Like it really embodied their feud, I thought. Like it was very indicative of what they've given us so far. It was very old school. Like it felt like a ladder match from 20 years ago. Like it was more reminiscent of like Razor and Shawn than it was of the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian to me. And they still use that old school storytelling. They didn't need to rely on these big spots and put their bodies at risk. Like they just did a really good job, and I liked it for what it was. And you know, I don't know if it's their last match or not, but it really was, you know, a nice little add-on to their feud so far.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good, and I loved at the end. I thought it was such a good touch to have Miz get the mic and dedicate the win to Daniel Bryan. They are perpetuating that animosity and that feud, and I think that's great. And I just hope that there will be a payoff way down the road of Daniel Bryan coming back into the ring against The Miz. I think that would be great.
Yeah, I would love that. I just fear that it won't ever happen. But
then why would they focus so hard on this? Like they're focusing so hard on these two butting heads.
Well, I mean, you can still have feuds with the Authority. I mean, like Austin and McMahon wrestled only a handful of times, but they were feuding every week. You know, so there can be a reason, I think, for that. I didn't have much from either of the two women's matches. They were fine, I guess. I was happy to see Alexa Bliss win, even though I didn't call it like you did. I was happy because I feel like she is deserving. I feel like she's appreciative. I think she's doing a really good job, and I'm glad to see
She was.
It wouldn't have bothered
I
me.
thought she was great. I thought she was great in that match. I thought she was awesome. She has a great look, great attitude, good character. Becky Lynch sucks on the mic after a match, before a match, during a match. She sucks on the mic, but she's good in the ring. Like, there was a good match.
You know, but Becky Lynch, I feel like if she didn't have that accent, she might be good on the mic.
I can't understand her.
It's too thick. It's really thick. I mean, I hate saying it like that, but I feel like if it wasn't so thick, it would be a lot easier to understand her.
Right. I bet even Sheamus is like, what? What is she saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, even Kamala is probably like, huh?
She needs. There are a couple people on the roster, Braun Strowman and Becky Lynch. They need Bobby Heenan. Like, they need. You need somebody else. You need a mouth.
Yeah, I know what you mean. By the way, you don't want Bobby Heenan right now. He's not much more coherent than Becky Lynch is.
To me, Bobby Heenan is always the same Bobby Heenan. He's the weasel from the 80s, and I'm pretending it.
Listen, I think Bobby Heenan is one of the greatest personalities in all of wrestling ever. But if you feel that way, do not look up pictures of him modern day. Just don't do it.
I won't. I don't want to. Like, there will be a day where we talk about Bobby Heenan being dead, and I will be. It'll hurt. That one will sting.
Listen,
a lot for me.
I hate to be this guy, but that day is not that far away. I hate to say that, but
I don't think it is, and it won't be super surprising and sad, because to me he's already gone. As awful as that sounds.
I can understand what you're saying. I can understand that.
Because I don't know him personally. I just know him from the way I know him. He's not there anymore.
Fair enough. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else really worth talking about up until the main event. Do you have much else? I mean, the chairs match was the best chairs match ever. That over-delivered in spades. I could not believe that that's the match that we wound up wanting to talk about the most. But anything before the main event? Because the main event's got a lot there, I think.
Yeah, kudos to the production team. I thought all the hype videos for some of these matches were better than they have been in a long time. Like, they each had their own little hype video, and I thought they each match was given its own main event treatment in a way, and I thought that SmackDown really brought it last night. I was happy with that pay-per-view. I think I'm going to change my grade to an
A. I don't think it's A worthy. There were a lot of sleeper matches. Like, I think both the women didn't give us much worth talking about. And I feel like Miz and Ziggler kind of under-delivered a little bit. I think an A is a really high praise. I'm sticking with my B minus.
So it's settled then. It's an A.
Okay, sure. But you know what? I am curious if anyone out there wants to leave us a comment, because this is the highest grade I've given a show in recent memory. I don't remember ever giving something, considering it for a B, since maybe SummerSlam, since you've been the co-host of the show.
Yeah, since the draft, you have not given anything higher than a C.
Yeah, so that's pretty high praise for me. And like, if we're gonna give something an A, like, it's got to be awesome. And
can we agree that the main event was an A?
The main event and the chairs match were A, sure.
A, sure.
Yeah, I mean, the main event, I guess I could have used a little more. Maybe it's an A minus, but they are really, really good. I mean,
They're so good together.
Yeah, I don't want to just go through it spot by spot, but there were some really big things that were fun to watch in there. The production crew is doing something weird. Obviously, they've been instructed to. I don't know why this hit everyone in the face like a steel chair from Baron Corbin last night. But every time they show an instant replay, they show one of the fans' reactions. Did you notice that last night?
I did. It's like, you just see someone going.
Yeah, it's just like So there was like a formula to it. So the spot would happen. Unfortunately, the camera every time I can't operate it on this computer. I can't control who sees what.
Okay, so what's this? This is what they did. Hey! Oh, shock and that's
exactly what I'm talking about. So they would show the spot live, and then they'd replay it twice, and then they'd show some weirdo in the crowd reacting to it. And I was just like, why are you doing this? I feel like if you have like a magic reaction, like from a Miz girl or something, sure, go for it. But to do it every replay was obnoxious, I thought.
Or the guy with the bug eyes from when Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar.
Right. Yeah, make it special.
Make it. Yeah, it's not every spot. I loved what happened with James Ellsworth at the end. Now that I know what happened, like I liked him coming out. I was upset when it first happened.
I'm a little confused. And let's clarify, because I bet you a lot of people watching this did not watch Talking Smack last night. Do you want to bring them up to speed?
Yeah, I'll bring them up to speed because I too was like, I thought for an Ellsworth heel turn, and it makes very little sense. Why would he help AJ Styles? I didn't like it. I didn't mind AJ being the champ, and I loved the match. And I was hoping they were going to give me something that made sense as to why Ellsworth would do this, and they did, but they didn't do it on the pay-per-view, and they didn't do it on Tuesday night. They did it right afterwards on Talking Smack, and I saw it on a clip on Facebook. He shows up, and he's like Ellsworth. He's happy and he's like, "Hey Daniel, what's up, man?" And Daniel and Renee are like, well, "What's up?" He's like, "Hey, did you see that out there? Did you see it?" And they're like, "Yeah, what's going on?" And Renee's like, You just turned on your only friend. And he was like, "Oh, Dean would have done the same thing to me. We go way back. Now I get a shot at the championship. I have AJ Styles' number. I beat him 3 times. I have his number, and I'm going to win the championship. And to make it up to Dean, I'll let him have the first crack at my championship." Like, he still loves Dean Ambrose. He thinks they're friends. He thinks that he just got one over on AJ Styles, and now he's going to fight for the championship. That's what's happening. He wasn't trying to be mean. He just thought that he was winning the championship for himself. I thought that was hilarious. And he thinks that Dean's not going to be mad at him.
I know you don't watch The Walking Dead, but I figure there's probably some people out there watching this that do. There was an episode where I'll just say, "Look at the flowers, Lily. Look at the flowers," and everyone will know what I'm talking about. And James Ellsworth reminds you of that little girl because he thought he was doing something good, but he didn't realize he was doing something really bad. And
right,
that's kind of where they're going. And my only problem with this is that the only reason I know this exists, this footage of James Ellsworth, is because you sent me a link this morning. And this is something that should have absolutely happened on the ramp on the way out, closing the show, or just before they ended the pay-per-view. You needed that clarification, or feel free to hold it for SmackDown. But that was the wrong. Talking Smack is not the right time to do it.
Because not as many people were watching Talking Smack, and I didn't watch Talking Smack. I only got it because I saw James Ellsworth was trending, and I wanted to see what links popped up.
And
so
by the way, I had Talking Smack on for its first 5 minutes. And if you want to see why it shouldn't be there, those first 5 minutes are almost unwatchable. I almost want you to do it from like it's so bad it's good kind of way, because it is
okay.
It's really bad. Renee is trying to get Daniel to like talk, or she's trying to get anything out of Daniel, and Daniel is just not giving her a thing. He seemed so difficult to work with, and I can't blame Renee for any of it. It's so awkward to watch, but it's all Daniel's fault.
Well, I'll have to watch it then, and
Just
see what's going
minutes.
on there. Then I'll nail it. But the Ellsworth thing, they should just look it up, and you'll be able to find it and see what I'm talking about. Because I have a theory now, and I wanted to ask you if this happens, if you still stand by what you said a month ago. I think James Ellsworth is going to win the championship. Do
No.
you think?
No.
Do you think that it's still as bad as David Arquette winning?
If he wins,
Yes.
No, it's not as bad as David Arquette winning. No, it's not.
No.
Although
I think that here's how I would write it. If I was writing it, this is what I would write, and I think they might do this. Because he said last night, he said, Dean, when I win it, you'll get the first opportunity, you'll get the first chance at the title. Remember, the one stipulation for this was Dean gets one more shot at AJ Styles, and that's it. So last night was his last opportunity at the championship as long as AJ Styles has it. So I think Ellsworth is going to fight AJ Styles. AJ Styles is going to lose because Dean is going to come out and cheat, and he's going to make Ellsworth win, and then he's going to fight Ellsworth, and he's either going to win the title from Ellsworth or AJ's going to come out and make it so Ellsworth wins again, and we could have Ellsworth as champion for like 3 or 4 months because they keep screwing each other over to make sure the other one doesn't win the title, which I think devalues the championship in a way, but it's a really creative way to write this feud a little bit longer without either one of them having the championship and having James Ellsworth be the focal point.
Boy, you're not crazy, but I really like to think that they're above doing that.
You think that's not going to happen? I think it's going to happen.
All right.
If it happens, can I get credit?
I'm not gonna stand here or sit here or whatever I'm doing and be like that's not happening, because it's possible. It's the millennial generation. Anything's possible. I just don't. I'd like to think that they have a greater value of that SmackDown championship than by giving it to James Ellsworth.
But it's not like they're giving it to him because he's earned it. They're giving it to him to propel a story. They're using it as a character. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with whatever they want to do.
You're not okay with it. You hate this idea.
I don't love the idea, but I mean, like, there's been worse champions. I'll say that.
You're an Ellsworth fan, though.
I don't have a problem with them.
You love James Ellsworth.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, it's like Roman Reigns. I don't really like him in the main event. It's not even the main event. I don't want to see James Ellsworth.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
What happened? You just froze on me, or did you do that on purpose?
You froze on me too. What was your question before we wrap this up? Because this has got to be painful to listen to.
I don't have a question.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing as you. This has got to be painful.
We'll wrap this one up. We're gonna try to do the remainder of our post to post from the studio. And if anyone wonders why I do these from the studio, let this be your truest example of why we do this from the studio normally. But it is, I mean, it's certainly like having on here as opposed to doing them, by myself or solo or whatever. But Joe,
I don't think this was that bad.
I'm going to watch this one back, and I bet you I'm going to want to tear my hair out.
Well, I'm not going to watch this back.
You should watch it back for the very beginning.
I don't want to. I'm going to have to go pay the price for that right now. In fact, we should just go. I should take this into her office, and that would redeem this if I went in and got yelled at for 2 minutes on the podcast.
If you want to, I'm not going to stop you.
No, I don't want to.
Okay. Then why don't we just go ahead and wrap up this one? We're going to call this I mean, this was really a mess, and I apologize. But Jerry did almost do it from a ladder, if that means anything to you.
I'm going to prove that right now. I'm just going to show the ladders.
We can't see anything. It's just a Steelers logo.
And
hold on. There it is. You have to talk now because I said something. Now you
I was going to be on these ladders. That was going to be the goal. I set them up, and I was going to try to jump from the low one to the tall one at the end of the podcast, but that was never going to work.
Well, we're still with you.
Oh, this is, we're going to pay it off. Holy cow. I'm afraid of heights. Whoa. That's a problem. Okay, let's wrap it up.
All right. Listen, Jerry Valeri, you've got a very, very well-kept yard. Maybe one day, I wish you someday had a Wi-Fi connection as good as your yard. In the meantime, I'm going to sign things off for myself, the Rob, my tag team partner, the amazing Jerry Valeri, and his wife, who made a contribution this time. Thank you, Kelly. We love you. Don't give Jerry a DDT, please, onto a pile of chairs. For myself, for my tag team partner, Jerry, so long. Now we're sideways. What a
I can't hear what you're saying. I can't hear anything. I can't hear you.